and welcome to another of our Lenten Fireside Chats. It's kind of a high-tech fire here. I don't have a regular fireplace, but it's home, and so we have a computer fireplace for this segment. We've been talking about different elements in the season of Lent that are very, very important. And one of the most important is almsgiving. And when you hear the word almsgiving, you think of something ancient or something medieval or something that's strange and not modern. Almsgiving is an old term. What we mean by almsgiving is the three elements of what we should be doing for Lent is, of course, prayer. We already spoke about fasting. But almsgiving is the third, and it's the least known, and it's very, very important. Almsgiving is somehow we have to make the world better through giving. Many years ago, when I was a kid, we used to have what they call mite boxes. We used to fill them up with change during Lent, and then we would send the mite boxes in. They would collect them all, and then each class would send it in to the propagation of the faith, where they sent it to poor people throughout the world. So the whole idea was you somehow get some money together to help others during Lent, because prayer and fasting are really kind of internal and personal things. Almsgiving of the three is the only one that's really outward, that really reaches others. That's why the saints have said that of the three, almsgiving is the most important. And that's really what we don't talk about that much, because we always talk about what did you give up for Lent? That's the fasting part, or I'm going to Mass every day for Lent. That's the prayer part. But almsgiving is essential for our understanding. And, you know, when they said almsgiving in the past, they usually were thinking of some beggar in the square that they see every day that we should be more generous to. Before the modern means of communication that we have now, our view of the needs of others was very local. It was just the people that we saw in our daily life. So almsgiving means give money to this poor beggar that we pass by every day, or this blind person, or this whatever. It's different now with the internet and television. We know what's happening throughout the world, and we know the starvation, the horrible conditions, the lack of nutrition, the lack of medical help. We know that there are millions of people, not just one beggar in the square, but millions of people and millions of children who really can't live because they don't have the basic necessities that we just take for granted because we think everybody has it. So almsgiving is trying to change our perspective and give us a more global perspective of our Lent. That our Lent somehow has to be better for others. Who is going to profit from our Lent? Is it just me and people around me? Or is it people who are really, really in need? Now, this is very, very important because, you know, in the scriptures, when Jesus spoke to people about the coming judgment, there's only one image he gave us of the king on his throne, separating the sheep from the goats. And what is the criteria that he used for who's going to be saved and who is not going to be saved? Did you feed me when I was hungry? Did you give me to drink when I was thirsty? Did you visit me when I was sick? Did you take care of me when I was in prison? All these things are there. And then many of the people said, but when did we see you hungry? Meaning Jesus. And Jesus says, as long as you did it for these people, these little ones, these people who are in need, you did it for me. So we have no excuses anymore. We can't say, well, everybody's helping the guy in the square, so I think I'm free from doing that. Because there are millions of guys in the square who need our help throughout the world, in every country, including our own. And so that's where we're going to be judged. When we die, that's who we're going to be judged on, not if we have a baptismal certificate. We're going to be judged on, did we help the hungry? Did we help the thirsty? Did we help the homeless? Were we there for these people? We can't say, where were they? Because they're all over the place. We see them constantly. And so the call for almsgiving in Lent is very serious, and we have to listen to it, because the future, our future, is part of this giving and almsgiving. We have to reach out to others. That's what Jesus wants. You know, it says in the scripture, you know, I've seen you fasting. I think this was Isaiah or Jeremiah. I've seen you fasting, but you know what the kind of a fast I want? I want you to see you feed the hungry and take care of that's what fasting I want to see. I want to see other people who are needy benefit from this time of renewal, this what we term Lent. So we have to start saying, take almsgiving out of the closet, out of the dustbin, and put it right in the center of Lent. Because prayer and fasting is important as subsidiary things, but the principal thing is, who are we helping during Lent? How do our sacrifices become something good for others? That's why almsgiving is so important. So while it's great to increase our prayer, and we could fast from a lot of things that we have grown to think is more important than God, all that is good and proper for us to do. But let's not forget the almsgiving, because it is the most important thing we can do for Lent. Have a great Lent and enjoy yourselves giving.